Welcome back to this new session. I hope that you enjoyed the last session and I hope that your practical task session was also good. How did you find it? I hope were able to exchange good ideas and brainstorming sessions with all of your peers and all of your groups. Now, today we are on to some very interesting topic. And today we'll be talking about exploring the world of tech, the areas and the possibility. See, our focus today is I'm going to be introducing you to the core skills and the stacks in technology. So we call them stacks. So I'm going to be introducing you to the stacks that exist in technology and how we can explore which one you are most interested in. And it's going to be a very exciting session. So, a little recap through what we went through last time. So, last time we used technology and we talked about how we can use it in any area of our lives, in any method, as long as we are solving problems. We looked at Joseph, we looked at how he did not build any application, but he gave a life changing and life saving solution. And that mindset is what tech is about. How can you build that mindset? And right now, I am going to share a lot more with you. Now, this session has a lot of goals, and one of the goal of this session is at the end of the session, I want you to be able to understand what tech is and understand that it is a wide space and the different areas are in that space. We already know what tech is. So now you want to know that it is a wide space and there are different areas and different people and different skills you can build within that space. And I'm also going to be introducing you to five core stacks that exist in tech. There is coding, there is design, there's AI, there's product management, and then there's hardware. I'm going to be introducing you to all these core stacks that we have, and we are going to start to identify areas that spark your interest in this session. So we're going to also look at okay, what interests you, what do you find interesting in this session, and there are a lot of things that you would see at the end of this session that would genuinely excite you. So we just get right in. But these are the three things I would like to make you understand in this session. Before we continue, I would like to make a Bible reference to Exodus chapter 31, verse 2 to 3. And it says that God has filled Bezalel with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and skills to do all kind of creative and technical work, designing, building, and crafting. And this is what I would like to expose you to today. It's just an opportunity for you to know that it's not a possibility of just one thing. Tech is not one thing. Some people write code. Some people make some people do the designs, some people make the things work, some people just like the ideation, bringing together the ideas and other people executing it. Some people do the design, like I said, some people write the code, different areas. The third category of people is some people actually organize the ideas, the features, and they guide the process. Some people build the tools that think for themselves, and that's the AI category. And finally, we have people that love building physical tech, like the phones. They are the hardware kind of people. So those are the different areas that we have. So let me tell you today, and I'll repeat over and over again, that tech is not one thing, and this is for us to know that God is interested in skills, in ability, in learning. He's interested in it. I'm going back to that Bible verse that I talked to you about, which is going to be our biblical anchor for this session. It says, God filled Bezalel with skills, ability, and knowledge in all kind of work, design, craftsmanship, and building. I would like us to personalize this and you say after me, God filled Deborah with skills, ability, and knowledge in all kinds of work, design, craftsmanship, and building. We are going to say that again, and when I say Deborah, you insert your own name. Say, God filled Deborah with skills, ability, and knowledge in all kinds of work, design, craftsmanship, and building. A round of applause for ourselves, a round of applause for ourselves. So now I'm going to make you understand that we are exploring different areas. There are tech areas, and those are the skills, and then there are tech possibilities. Those are the sectors where tech can be used. And we are going to begin with the different tech areas that exist. Now, the first two I'll be talking to you about is the coding and the design. I'm sure you have heard a lot about coding, a lot about it. Don't worry, it's not as hard as people make it seem. It is very easy. Coding is how apps and websites and tools are built. Coders write instructions and they use language and computer to understand. So they write instructions for the computer. Computer has its own language. The way you have your own language, Yoruba, English. Computer also has its own language. So what coders have done is they have learnt the language of the computer and they use that language to write instructions for the computer. Imagine your mom and you, maybe you speak Yoruba, and then your mom tells you something in Yoruba. She has used Yoruba language that you understand to give you instructions. And that's the same thing coders do. They learn the language of the computer and they use that language to command the computer to do whatever they want it to do. And there are different language that you see. So every time you open WhatsApp, you open TikTok, Instagram, you are using someone's code. You are using the person has given instruction and you are just tapping and pointing. As you are tapping on one thing, an instruction is being sent. And that is the instruction that somebody has already set down before. So the way that instruction is showing to you is what they call design. Imagine if you don't understand French, but somebody has built something in French, your computer understands French, and a coder has told your computer something to do in French. And when you come, you see English. But because you understand English, you can tap everywhere and send an instruction. And then when you send the English, the coder converts it to French and use that French to tell the computer what to do. So, and that is where design comes in. So, design shows you what you understand while the coder is talking in the language of the computer, while design is talking in your own language. Don't worry, I know it might be confusing. I will explain it better to you. Coding is for people who love problem solving. They love logic. They love fixing things step by step. If you ever ask, how does this app or work? If you have ever asked somebody, "Oh, how does this app work?" It means that you actually like coding and you can explore something in that area. There are many languages that you can use in coding. We are just like I said, just like we have Yoruba, Hausa, in Igbo. In coding, we have things like a language called HTML, there's one called CSS, there's one called JavaScript, and there's one called Python. There are many languages like that. There's C++. There's a lot of language available out there. But all you need to know is that this the same way you have your own language, the computer has its own language. And as a coder, all you are doing is learning the language of the computer and using that language to give instructions to the computer. Now, like I've explained before, transitioning into design to the second area of tech. But before I go there, you don't need to know all of them to start. You don't need to know all of this programming language. There's some people that the only language they understand is HTML and then they can build products with HTML. There's some people is CSS and they can build products with CSS. With simple HTML, you can just write instructions and it will happen. But with CSS, you can add colors to your instructions. You can add stylings to your instructions. So these different languages, they are of different category. For example, somebody that speaks Pidgin English and somebody that speaks great British English or grammar English, they're two different things. Though they're still English, but you understand that one is a level higher than another in terms of professionalism. So all that I am trying to make you understand today is you don't need to know all of the languages to start. You can just pick one language and you understand it. So again, coding is the way of understanding the computer's language and giving instructions to the computer in that language. Now let's go to design. Design is very interesting. Some people call it UI UX design, some people call it visual design. But design is how things look, how they feel, how they flow. When you open the app, the layout, the color, the button, all that is design. All that was designed by somebody. So a designer is somebody that asks a question like, oh, how easy is this thing to use? Does it look good? Can a first timer use it very easily? So that's what designers do. I am a designer, and what I do is I build mobile applications and make it very easy to use. Imagine if you open WhatsApp and all you see is a big keyboard right in front of you. You don't know where the name of the person that you want to chat with is. You don't know where you see your call history. Everything is just scattered. This is the work of a designer to arrange things systematically the way the mental model of a user actually works. Designers use tools like Canva, Figma, Adobe SD, even Google Slides. You can use it to design anything that you want. So if you're somebody that you love visuals, you love color, you love creativity, you love helping people enjoy a good experience, design might be your thing. So design is not just drawing, it is communicating clearly what people see and how they feel. That is what design is. I hope I've been able to explain this to you easily. We'll go on to the next session, which is artificial intelligence and product management. This is also another stack. So, what is artificial intelligence? You have heard AI, AI. If you do not know the full meaning of AI, it means artificial intelligence. And this is where machines learn how to think. So, now I told you that a coder learns the language of the machine. So now just think of it as a reverse. The computer is learning the language of the humans and learning to think like humans, learning to respond like humans. That's what artificial intelligence is. So we have built forward where coders learn the language of the computer. Now we are building backward where computers learn the language mannerism of humans. And that's why you type something into ChatGPT to clearly write a ton of things to you because over time we have trained it to learn the language and the thinking and the response of humans based on patterns and data. It is used in voice assistants like Siri and Alexa. You tools like ChatGPT, those are AI. Apps that recommend what to watch or suggest reply when you're typing. You're already typing, it has given you the finish of the response. It's because that computer has learned your language over the time and is now acting based on that. So you see how beautiful and how reverse the world is. Oh, sorry, how it's much of a cycle, not reverse, how the world is a cycle. AI is everywhere, even in music, in health, education, farming. It's powerful and it's growing very fast. This is the best time to actually embrace it. People who enjoy exploring new ideas, being futuristic, asking what if, why, those people that question things or often enjoy learning about AI. You don't have to build AI from scratch. Sometimes just using it wisely can be a game changer. You don't have to build your own AI. That's the truth. Because there are a lot being built today. But an opportunity for you to use it wisely is something that is great to explore. I will rush down to product management. Oh, product management is sweet. I've also done product management before. Some people are not coders, they are not designers, but they are great at thinking and planning and organizing. And these are project managers or product managers. They are like planners in the tech world. You know, like an event planner, yes. So this is the planner in the tech world. They are the ones that make sure everybody is doing their work. The vendor for the food is there. The decorator is there. The people that security man is there. Everybody is there planning the event. This is the product management people that do that. They coordinate everyone to make sure that their job is done properly. So they ask questions like, oh, what are we building? Why are we building it? When are we going to build it? They work with the teams to turn ideas into reality. They're like the coordinator. So if you're someone who loves big ideas, you like leading people, you like working with people, you like asking questions, organizing things, this might be your area. You don't need to be technical, you just need to be smart, clear, passionate about solving problems in the right way. And I'm going to go to the last set of people. They are called the hardware people, which is like the physical tech. So some people don't want to sit behind the screen. They want to use their hands. They want to get their hands dirty. They want to do the hard work. And of course, every other area is still the hard work. But what I mean, the physical work. So hardware is about building real physical things like wire, solar power chargers, small robots, tools that help people in daily life. This is what hardware does. Imagine somebody actually built a spoon. Imagine if they built a spoon and the head is slightly tilted. Imagine how difficult that would have been. So in building all these hardware, there's also somebody that is relevant. I'm sure they built a spoon and realized that, oh, how do we eat food like spaghetti or indomie? And then they now say, oh, let's cut lines in between the spoon. And then they built the fork. So you see how beautiful tech is and how beautiful solution is. So there are people that are in the hardware area, and if you are open to a broken remote, if you have ever opened a broken remote to see what is inside, or you love to fix things around the house, or you enjoy making things work, batteries and tapes, or people that join things together and they're always trying to fix things. This might be your gift. Hardware is powerful, and when combined with software, magic, pure magic. So yeah, so now that you have seen the different areas of tech, coding, design, product thinking, and hardware, you don't have to master all of them. And that's where mixing skills come in. Many people use a mix of this. For example, I am a product designer, but I've once worked as a product manager before. I know a little about writing code, particularly maybe HTML, but it's not something I particularly enjoy, so I don't deep dive into it. But there are people that design and also write code. There are people that are robotic builder and might need to do both hardware and AI. So you need to figure out what do you want to do and then find yourself, pick those things, mix and match those things. You don't need a laptop or tech lab to start. You just need the right mindset, the willingness to learn. And now let's ask, where can these skills be used? I've told you about different skills. Now we need to go about, okay, where can it be used? And this is where we go to the second part of this lesson, which I'll talk about tech possibilities. Now, to talk about tech possibilities, oh, I had a quick pause there, but welcome back. Talking about tech possibilities, this is where you actually get your tech done. This is where tech solves real problems. The last time, last class, I'm sure you met with your friends and you guys talked about different problems in your area. Now, this is where tech applies to those problems. Let's talk about real life. In the real world, tech is used in everyday life and not just in tech companies. Let's look at the different sectors where and what kind of problems tech can solve in those areas. All you can see on your screen right now is education, and this is in edtech. Students can now learn online through videos or mobile apps. AI can help you create quizzes, explain topics. Tech tools can help teachers mark scripts, send assignments. In Nigeria, there are platforms like U Lessons that you can use. There are Udemy, there's Coursera, there are a lot of platforms that people now learn better. So the problem might be that there are no teachers or there are outdated books. Now we have learning platforms to solve that. So this is a place where tech is solving problems. Where you can go online, particularly on YouTube, you type anything on YouTube, and I bet you can learn anything you want to learn on YouTube because there are people that have created those resources and there are people that have used these resources to create materials for other people to learn with and to educate people. The next area is the money. This is another area where we use tech. People without bank accounts can now save and transfer money through apps. We all almost everybody has an OPay account in Nigeria. And before it was very easy, very difficult for people to have access to bank account. You would have to travel all the way to withdraw cash. Now you can go to the POS person and withdraw easily. I'm sure that you might not be able to relate for your age, but there was a time when access you cannot pay with your card to buy something or access to cash was not easy. But technology came, their mobile apps came, and then people are able to do transactions. I can send money from anywhere just because I have a mobile app. So tech can also help detect fraud and AI tools. There are saving applications, there are investment apps, there are QR code that you want to pay from. They tell you to scan the QR code and you pay. And this is what we call fintech, financial technology. So technology is in everywhere. In education, we call it ed tech, education technology. But in financial, we call it fintech, financial technology. Now, the next end of it is health technology, which is called health tech. You get it. So now in health, people can book appointments online. There are apps that remind people of their vaccination. People can get access to hospitals or get access to keep their digital record easily just because there's something called health tech. There are technologies, there are apps for booking appointment, there are period trackers for the girls, there are apps that you can use to track your period, to know when your period is coming next. All of those things is just because people have been able to use tech to solve real world problems. A person can go from one hospital to another hospital and their health records are kept, and then they can access health easily anywhere in the world. You see how tech has made the world easy and how you can be a part of it. The next bit of it is transport technology, but this one is called mobility tech, moving people from one place to another. So there are apps that now help people order rides, track the traffic, do just see different kind of app. Here in the United Kingdom, I can easily check where I'm going to on the map, the buses that I'm going to take, the way I'm going to get there, how much it's going to cost me to get to where I'm going to. And that's because technology is or has been imbibed into our mobility sector. So you have things like GPS tracking tools, apps that now showing bus route or bike safety tips, AI for route predictions. So this is often called mobility tech, and you can even get safety tips delivered to you via SMS just through transport. Isn't it interesting? The next end is tech, the real estate tech, and this is called prop tech. Prop tech is gotten from property tech, so that's called prop tech. So you see now there are apps that list verified rental houses. Where can you rent houses? If you check online, you see them. Users can book inspections online. AI helps you estimate property value. AI has actually also helped reduce fraud and confusion in house hunting. So you can genuinely sign a contract of a house online or split rent online or even pay for house small online. So a lot of things are now put into technology. If there's any area that tech has not gone into now, I bet you it has started. You have just not seen it. So tech is genuinely everywhere. The next point is our environment, which is clean tech, making sure that our climate is safe, pollution, waste, and deforestation. Those are the problems that we have. Now we have solar powered street lights, we have apps that teach recycling, we have tools that track clean water access, all of those things, AI for weather prediction. This is because of technology that has gone into the environmental sector. I have two more to go. We have the agricultural sector. Anyone has been expecting that, yeah. So now we can see that there might be poor harvest or no market access or outdated tools. Now you see people getting fertilizers, and I believe these fertilizers that people are getting, they're not just things that people just say, oh yeah, use these fertilizers, because they have used tech to test them to know that okay, this would work. We even have different areas where they use drones to water their plants. We have things that test the soil to check how good is this soil, how best will it grow the plant or grow the things that we're trying to grow. So this is where tech has come into agriculture. There are apps that you can order food, you can order groceries, other food stuff online, and this is just a way of allowing easy access for everyone to be able to access food easily. Farmers can even get SMS updates about market prices, tools. You know that cutlass was what people were using before. After tractor came, that is also technology in agriculture. So it's really interesting. And even on to the last one now, we have the governance and civic test, and this is how citizens report road issues, water problem, all through the app. Now, I think our NIN, there are apps where you can use to verify your NIN. You can register for INEC online. All those verification, it can be done online, and that's because we are bringing tech into our government possibilities, our government activities, polling units, voting. I know a lot is still like yet to reach standard in Nigeria. But these things have started saying that okay, people can easily register to vote anywhere with a tech device. So all these tools can help us explain laws in simple language, and that's how we can bring tech into government. So see, there are different areas where you can explore tech, and I want you to start thinking, where do I want to make my contribution in terms of tech? What interests me? What stack interests me? And what possibility interest me. Once you're able to match your area and your possibility together, I tell you, you are unstoppable. So you have not seen the areas of tech like coding, design, AI. You have also seen um you have also seen the possibilities, the sector, which is fintech, environment, agriculture. I've told you, I've shared a lot with you because that's how big solution begins. It's not magic, they start gradually. You don't have to do everything, but you have to start somewhere with one skill and one interest. One skill and one interest at a time, one area you care about. And because of that, you don't automatically jump into solution. You pick things one at a time, but having a mind, rather, that was what I wanted to say, having a mind that pays attention. So next time we'll learn how to think like Joseph. Then now that I've figured out my stack and I've figured out my interest, how do I bring all of this together? How do I make it all make sense? And that's the ground to which I'll be ending our class today. So now let's do like a quick revamp of everything that we have learned. We tried as much as possible to make a connection between our area and our possibility. And a designer, there can be a designer that can create an health app to track malaria symptoms. A coder can build a transport app that shows bike safety route. Someone learning AI can help schools mark their papers automatically. A product thinker can help plan a tool that helps market women save money. You see how they are very intertwined. A hardware builder can create a solar powered charging box for rural students. This is the moment that start imagining this is the moment they start imagining the power of combining what they can learn with what they can solve. And that is to you. This is the moment where you start combining what you are learning and what you are solving together. I hope today has been very useful for you and you have learned a thing or two. You are now going to go into a session of a practical task with your aunties and uncles. If you have any questions, please note them down and we will address these questions during the course of the curriculum and I'll be able to answer your questions. Please go through your practical class. It's quite very simple what the task is. We are going to be looking at different, maybe I'll just give you a tiny hint. So we're going to be looking at different sectors. I'm going to split people that have the same interest in the same group. And then you can talk about problems that you can solve within there and then iterate into solutioning. It's so interesting doing this with you and bringing this lesson to you. Again, my name is Deborah Dada. Thank you so much for listening and I will see you on the next one. Bye bye.